I'm not even doing a long introduction today. Ladies and gentlemen, you're never going to believe who's on the podcast. Rigan Machado.
The one
Thank
known.
you, sir.
Master
The
Rigan. It's just like this is a glorious moment because you have influenced so many, and we were chatting before the show started. There's a lot to talk about today. But before I get into any of the controversial topics, you were telling us something very, very interesting about different. You said your grandmother is one of your grandmothers was the sister of Henzo's grandmother.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? That's
Yeah.
wild. It's such a deep family intertwined, right? Everybody's all locked in. So you can't escape. Now, I say this, and I stand by this statement, and I know because my coach, Chris Howder, I'm wearing my little combat base shirt today, really pushed this into me because my jiu-jitsu style, it's Rigan Machado jiu-jitsu. That's all it is. You can't get around it. I was baptized by blood with Chris Howder, being in the garage, going to South Bay when Rigan was in South Bay, or going to the Valley or West LA, wherever he was. Anytime Rigan was around, it was a couple of us that said, we have to go train with Rigan. Because no matter what we did or thought the new technique was, Rigan had an answer for it. Where when we, I remember when we were trying to do. All right, I'm just going to come out and say it. When the 10th Planet style first came out, and I was one of the original members of 10th Planet, and we had asked Rigan, me and my friend Chuck had asked Rigan, hey, how about this? How about this? And Rigan goes, yeah, Eddie's a nice guy, but here's why it doesn't work. And then he systematically shuts down every little thing that we thought was the most genius technique ever of the 10th Planet system. Rigan shuts everything down in about half a second. And it wasn't like a nice thing either. It was just like, okay, I'm going to die here. I'm going to die here. I'm going to die here. So Rigan has always had the answer to everything. And here's the other thing I'm going to say in terms of why we should all understand and honor. There should be a statue of Rigan somewhere in everybody's school. We do not have worldwide jiu-jitsu without Rigan Machado.
Thank you.
And I'm going to explain really quick before Rigan gets into his history, a little bit of this history that is missing. Back in the day, the Gracie, and this is directly from Chris Howder telling me these stories, the Gracies were very secretive about what they would show the students. So they would show a technique, not show other things. And there was definitely a hierarchical training system where they didn't want to show you everything, and they left things out. If it wasn't for Rigan Machado, and this created a big rift in the family, if it wasn't for Rigan Machado being generous with his knowledge and sharing with like my coach, Chris Howder, Eric Paulson, John Will, and teaching everybody the full spectrum and the full philosophy of jiu-jitsu, jiu-jitsu would have never spread at the rate that it did, at the speed that it did. So we all owe Rigan Machado a huge thank you and gratitude every single day, because we would not be able to practice the art in completion and be able to push the art forward without Rigan Machado. Nobody else without Rigan Machado,
Amen.
who is the number one most influential instructor worldwide, period, end of story. And I challenge anybody on that, but that is the truth. That is the God's honest truth. So I want to get into something, Rigan. When you started so young, you started as a little kid, right? Training with the family.
Okay. I was my mother, sister, Mary Carlos Gracie, the senior, the founder of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And as a young kid, my mother was very close to Carlos Gracie. And her sister and my mother's sister treated us like her own kids too, because just two sisters. And my mother treat like kids like her kids, vice versa. Like my aunt is like my second mother. And I remember early age, because I have a problem a little bit dyslexia, and had problem with asthma. Carlos Grace was a nutritionist, a specific doctor who helped create the Grace diet. And little by little, he asked my mother to let me move and live with him in Rio. And I moved to Rio. I started doing swimming twice a day. He put me to swim at least for 3 or 4 hours for and do a specific, very health, organic health diet. Everything prepared, very organized in his house, and I eat very organized, like very organic, very. And after a while, my asthma disappeared. But the same time, I trained jiu-jitsu with crawling, helium, halls, Carson Gracie, and little by little, I start like to training for my cousins. And my coach, my cousin Horace Grace and Carlos Grace Jr. talked to my mother. It's okay he stay a little bit longer because we like to. This kid have a lot of potential. He have the will, consistency. He listen, and he's gonna be a great athlete. He and based like my mother. Okay, he. I move. My brother Carlos come and we moved together to the house of Carlos Grace and my cousins in Rio, and we start training every day. I was a good soldier, no?
Mm.
I listen, I do what my coach wanted me to do. And I remember I start with 10 sparring a day, 10.
Oh my God.
And after this, I raised for 20. And after this, I raised for 40 sparring a day. But every day. I do 3 sections a day. And the mentality, the old mentality of Horace Gracie was before you come a hammer, you start as a nail. People's
Hmm.
gonna beat you up. You're gonna get tough, and that's when you're ready to start coming back, become a good competitor. And I did that, but I was lucky enough when they start getting a little bit older to start training for Rickson. The Rickson feed me, what changed my game 100%. When I start training for Rickson, my jiu-jitsu come to the next level. I think after that, I start winning, no loss. I start beating everybody. I dominate the sport for around 8 years. 8 to 9 years, I beat everybody at the
Undefeated.
time.
Yeah. So what was it? How would you characterize Hickson's style or what he taught you that really took you to the next
I
level?
think what Rickson, he is very detailed, like based like every inch when you fight have a reason for how to do it. The techniques. Rickson, because of my dyslexia, I have example brothers who he showed the techniques couple times, and the brothers learn it right away. For me, it was difficult because I everything I learned I repeat thousands times because that's how I was able to absorb it. I didn't absorb it right away, but I was getting better. After a while, I do 20 times the techniques, was able to learn it well. But in the beginning, repetition was very important for me because in the sparring give me the mindset. The mindset for me in the technical influence I have from Hickson is some of the guys who used to be at the academy help to sharpen my game. But I think the mindset comes from the sparring. Is no way. I don't believe you come a champion without spar, without put yourself in a war zone. And I think like I was lucky enough to have a phenomenal group which push me every day. I believe like the sparring, the toughness, come along with the techniques, the cardio, the mindset. That's what helped me to law because for me it was not much about medals. I didn't care about medals or titles. For me, it's about the addiction to go to a war zone. What mean go to a war zone? The best feeling for me is the adrenaline. I love to feel the adrenaline because the adrenaline keeps me sharp.
Mm.
I use the adrenaline for beneficial, to be sharp, to be eyes open when they go to a fight. But what I love the most when I look across the mat, I see another athlete who wanna take my spot, wanna win, and he trained for it. And I know I'm gonna go to a war for this guy. When I go to a war for this guy, it's the battle, and you end up winning. That's the pleasure I was addicted. Oh, I love this. I'm addicted to this. And to have this addiction, you have coaches who want to keep pushing, test you. Okay, I'm going to put you in the open class. This guy's 3 times your size. You want to go for it? I say, yeah, let's go. I never question my coaches. They want to put me to go to a war zone, I go. That, I think, was to have great coaches to push you to your limit, to have great coaches like Hickson Gracie, Carlos Gracie Jr. I have good Horse Gracie Academy. It was at that time I have some of the best guys in the country. Yeah, I think I trained for Castle Grace, Hollis. After a while, because I come success as a compatible, Carson said you can't train in two places because a big rival, being
Mm.
Castle Grace, Horse Grace, and I end up have to choose Horse Grace. Because Horse Grace was closer to my coach. Yeah, but Castro have a lot of love. He loved me. Once a while, he invited me to train for his guys. I have just love and respect for Carson Grace.
So as you're growing in jiu-jitsu and you're training and you go with on Hull's side. Hull's passed away what year? I'm trying to remember. It was early 80s, right?
Yeah, he died in a hang letter accident.
Yes.
He was, I was 16 years old when he died. And
Okay.
how he died, I remember when he died, broke the family a little
Yeah, I
bit
bet.
because I think that was the worst time for Carlos Grace Jr. because Carlos Grace Jr. was the one everybody liked it to be the successor of Horace Grace.
Mm.
And but at the same time, Hickson was the champion of the family. It what happened when everybody died, all the guys from the academy left. They went to train for Hickson. Hickson come his own identity of as a club.
Mm.
And I was the only one stay with Carlos Grace Jr. And we started rebuild his team, and I start winning, and pretty soon I have one of the top teams in the country after a while.
So let me ask you this. When that split happened, what was it that motivated you to stay with Carlinos instead
I
of going with
believe
Hickson?
the key for me is loyalty. Uh, he dedicate. I was because he was my coach. He was on top of me. Beside that, we have this love, trust relationship. I said I'm gonna stick with Carlos. Doesn't matter. In case even didn't have students to spar anymore, I will stick with him. But the academy rebuilt because I start winning,
Mm.
and people like his methodology as a coach. Carlos was a very good. Everybody listened to him. In the new generation, come to him it was good because he rebuilt a new generation of competitors. And Carlos first was not the top school, but couple years later, his school was the top school with Carson Grace. Was the biggest rival was Carson Grace and Carlos Grace at
And
the time after Horace Grace passed away.
so at what point does it go from, okay, Carlos Gracie to Gracie Baja? At what point do you guys create the Gracie Baja
Yeah, it's
team?
pretty interesting because I was a business partner, not business partner. I actually opened a school. I was first me who opened. Carlos retired after a while.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos in Crown Grace, they opened a center, a health center for with his father, Carlos Grace. They open a place people stay on the hotel and they get treated by the Grace diet and people sick, a clinic for health. and they opened a fantastic place, a 5-star place in Baja. And I opened my school. It's called Grace Club at the time. Me and my brothers in Baja.
Mm,
Baja is an area like we have Ipanema, Baja, Copacabana, like cities, like
sure.
in basically like after a while, people start nickname the place. Oh, I want to train the Gracie in Ipanema. I want to train a Gracie at Baja. I
Mm,
want to train a Gracie in Leblon, Botafogo. And people start call the academy like Gracie Botafogo, Gracie Barra, Gracie this. And after a while, it got stuck, the name. The area, Gracie, the area was Baja. It's like, in base, like, little by little, people start call Grace Baja, the nickname. But it was not Grace Baja at the time, uh, was just Grace Club but after a while people start call Grace Bar, change the logo, the name and stuff.
mhm.
Um,
So you, if I understand correctly, you were Carlinos's first black belt, right?
yeah, correct.
Okay. Very important because obviously we're going to get into a little
Dun
controversial
dun
topic here.
dun 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 dun. It's coming. It's coming. Watch the
This is
setups. Watch the
very,
setups.
very important. Higan Machado is Carlinos's first black belt. Period. End of story. Gracie Baja was developed by who? Higan Machado.
No, it's not just Higan Machado.
I
It's
know. But you were there.
yeah.
You're the found. You were there at
But
the
you were there. But
foundation.
you were
We
there.
have to
But you
give
were there.
credit where
Higgin was
credit is
carrying
due.
the shield and the sword. Let's just say that he
Yes.
was with the shield and the sword.
At what point after you guys are developing this school does Carlinos come back into
No, I think
the coaching?
I love Carlos to death. I remember when the clinic closed,
Mm,
the business closed, he need work. And one of the things I did, I said, Carlos, boy, you're my coach. I'm going to go to United States with my girlfriend to spend some time over there. Take it. The academy is yours. And he was there. He took the academy. I think Jean-Jacques was there too at the time. And he took over. He will have enough students. I said, it's yours. I gave to him.
and then you come to the United States.
Yeah.
And when you come to the United States, you link up with Horion. Is that how it works when you're looking for teaching?
No, I didn't link up with Horion right away. First, I
Mm.
came with my cousin Cesar Gracie. I
Okay.
was in San Francisco. Cesar Gracie was my student all the way to brown belt. He
Mm.
stayed in my house. He come to Brazil. He start training. I love the guy. The guy was grow up in America. And to have a cousin who is very America. He always talking about. Actually, for him to convince me to go to America.
Yeah.
He's the one who always talking about America, 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 America. I said, "Poor man, let me spend some time over there." My girlfriend want to go to America to do some course. Yeah, I said, let me see what's about this country. Yeah, I went over there with my girlfriend. I stayed with Caesars. Yeah, after a while, I have a chance to talk to Royce. I grew up with Royce. And Royce put me on the phone to talk to Horion. And Horion asked me, "Pô, what the hell are you doing in San Francisco? Come to LA." And I moved to LA. And when I moved to LA, Rickson arrived from Rio to LA. And little by little, Royce was overwhelmed with teaching.
Mm.
Basically, Royce started have a lot of joint issues because too many classes, 20 classes a day. And I end up help Orion forms a year teaching half the classes with Royce giving him a little bit more break. I teach 10 classes, Royce teach 10 classes, something like that. And after this, Royce expand here, build a garage, 2 spots He basically took one spot, ended up for 15th class private day. He ended up 50. That's when I met Chris Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Because I came from a competition world. I started doing wrestling. I started competing judo. I didn't want to stop. And once in a while, when I get Horion is the most organized person I ever seen in my life.
Hmm.
Every class he have the class, the number, the class super organized. Every detail, for progress, teach the methodology he like. But he,
Oh,
sorry guys,
oh, it's
somebody,
okay. It's
yeah.
okay.
He basically come from a competition world. I love the competition. That's when I start doing wrestling, judo, whatever. I couldn't compete, and up start doing sambo for competition because I didn't want to lose the adrenaline. I love the. But I remember that's when I met Chris Howard. Chris Howard was super nice. Was a Marines. I said, Chris Howard, come here. Can I spar you a little bit? It's like. And I beat the shit out of them because I need practice. And he said, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "Man, I'm sorry. I need to spar." You know, and he loved it. He more you beat him up, more he
Mhm.
get addicted. He said, "Yeah, more like Marines." He
Mhm.
said, "I don't want to break the methodology of Hardy because Hardy is so organized, but once in a while I teach you some." The competition style. He loved it. He after a while he said, "I just want to do competition style." And I said, "I don't want to break the rules because Harden was so methodological in his teaching, a lot of self defense and stuff." And basically, Chris Howard, a few guys like Bob Bass and a few of the other guys start want to spar more. And that's when they start little by little spar with them and teach them this idea. That's when John Will show up too. John Will have worked for a magazine called Blitz. He was doing an article about jiu-jitsu. I introduced. Uh, for some reason, Horion couldn't teach. John Will said, "My cousin Rigan teach you." And I was teaching him. I was going to Brazil. He comes, said, "Can I go with you?" I said, "Sure, come to Brazil." He came. He came to Brazil, and that's how my relationship with John Will start getting stronger because I brought him to train in Barra Grace in Brazil. He loved it. That actually was John Will who convinced me to do sambo competition. He
Hmm.
said, "Oh, Riga, when you come back, I have these styles like judo, west. I didn't know what it is." He asked, "You want to compete? I sign you up for the some national, some Pan American." I said, "Sure, I'd love to." And that's when they won the competition. He started, "Why you don't go for the world championship?" And I start going. I start competing sambo because at the time didn't have jiu-jitsu in United States competition.
Mhm.
And and for me to go back to Brazil all the time because the papers, the immigration, the lawyer said, "Don't travel yet. Get your work permission, get your green card, and later you can do whatever you want. But for now, for the first couple of years, you don't do much. Stay in the United States." And that's when I start competing a lot of sambo.
Wow.
Amazing.
Now, for you, one thing that I feel is very divergent compared to a lot of your relatives is you really embraced cross training, like from
I,
judo,
I think,
sambo, Greco. What
yeah,
was
I
that
agree with you.
mindset for
No,
you?
this comes from horse grace. Horse grace, one time I was on the mat, sit down with him, and Hollis was talk to me about something very interesting. He said, "Jiu-jitsu is grappling. Uh, in your mind, jiu-jitsu is grappling, and you adapt the jiu-jitsu for whatever you fight. You fight judo, you use the grappling you know for adapt to judo. You use the style you know for fighting street fight. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
In base, I like to fight different rules to challenge myself in competition. Basically, when I come a champion judo, I create methodology for the sambo competition because I create some techniques I don't do much in jiu-jitsu, but I can do in sambo because every training I do a dirty standing, fake throws to end up on the ground. But when I go on the ground, everything I do is 30 seconds. I have to
Mm.
submit the guy in 30 seconds. All the techniques, everything I do is around the rules. And basically, I start getting better, better. It's not like when I start competing, I end up submit everybody. Because as soon as I go to the ground, I already go for the submission. And the training, the methodology, I change. And that helped him a lot. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love that. I love like try adapt the grappling for different rules. Like when they go to judo, you're allowed to do chokes and arm bars. In sambo, you're allowed to do foot locks and arm bars. And basically, little by little, I always try find something I can bring to jiu-jitsu from different grappling style. That's it's kind of cool, you know what I mean? And
Mhm.
basically, when I start teaching jiu-jitsu for the Dirty Dozen, it's like experiment. Oh, try this. I learn in sambo. Oh, try this. I learn it from judo. And
Mhm.
base that's come from Horse Grace because Horse Grace was the guy who mixed the most. Horse Grace was competing in wrestling.
Mhm.
Hollis Grace was competing sambo at his time in judo. What happened? He started bringing all this knowledge for his students, and his students' knowledge start get very high because they start getting good if no gi, good in judo, good in sambo, and base the academy level start going up because everybody start getting good in other methodologies, you know what I mean, other styles.
Now, what was it about? What was the appeal for you with Greco?
I like Greco because I did freestyle. I studied freestyle. I did a lot of camps in America in training. But, for example, I like some of the controls and stuff. But for me, what I love about the Greco-Roma is you start from the top. After this, I go for the bottom.
Mm.
Instead, go shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do underhooks, tie the head, throw one, and from there I set up single leg or double leg. I like the methodology for me work 10 times better. That's basically what, for my style of jiu-jitsu, I adapt to Greco-Roma to freestyle. I always start Greco-Roma. And after this, I go for freestyle. After this, I end up, because I like to fall on top.
Mm-hmm.
For me to pull for the guard, I don't like it. I wanna because on the top, my style is to get side control. When I get the side control, that's when my game, my torture beginning. And basically, like I have, I soon I get the legs. I try blink the legs. I don't try stand up. I want to lay down top the legs,
Yeah.
inch by inch. I go very tight, control the hip. Now I'm on the side control.
Yeah.
I start the torture to try finish on the mount, on the side, or the back.
I
And
think,
base the
yeah, something very interesting that you're saying, and I've mentioned this to people before, not only in my classes when I'm teaching, but also on the show. I said, anytime that I've ever had the opportunity to roll with you, as an example, it wasn't that you took an arm bar or a triangle or something like that. It was literally your configuration, your top right configuration, your pressure, literally spine locking me, twisting me up. That was enough to kill me. And it's, I think people, especially these days, the funny stuff that I see, it's more like circus tricks or capoeira or something. It's very odd. It's very divergent from like a Rigan Machado style of grappling, where you should have the technical ability to finish somebody with that Rigan Machado style pressure and knowledge of how to, as you just said, torture somebody in a position where it's just like the almost this submission, the lock should almost become irrelevant. That's the level of mastery you should have over this positional control. Why do you think people have gone away from that? Because you're a true master of that
now is I
system.
tell exactly why. The jiu-jitsu adapt accord the evolution. Is example. I still a student. I still learning from the new generation. Whatever the new generation do, I try learning from them. You know what I mean? Because I think you never stop learning, and I think the new generation determine what's next.
Mhm.
He, the ways the way they do things, the way they training. I think. The new generations, the future, you have to keep the eye on them for don't get your jiu-jitsu old. And for me, I always keep my eyes, my antenna open from the new generation. But I think what's changed is the competition, the rules.
Mm.
Yeah, I think like the style of the rules and the point system, the jiu-jitsu changed a lot. A lot of people adapt according to the rules. Like example, GBJJF is so much advantage, so much. Like another day, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was explaining to me he was a world champion with he winning 4 fights or something, but he scored two vantage, scored 2 points, two vantage, one vantage. He come a world champion. I start think like the jiu-jitsu changed because not more my idea when you fight jiu-jitsu, you have to submit the guy, you have to establish yourself as a champion, and to have chance to see the generation change this view. I start realize the methodology I have to teach my students have to change because they go with my mentality today for competition, they're going to lose because is not the same. You have that's what the evolution come. I have to train my students at the camera. The point system is number one, and submission come later. Or you have opportunity to come from the submission is great, but at the same time, it's amazing to see now the no gi evolution.
Mhm.
The no gi evolution now, the submissions coming excitement. You see a
Mhm.
lot of submissions. You see the new generation like to attack the legs a lot, heel hooks and stuff like that, and they like to get the back. And like you start to see the techniques come alive and the quickness and the explosions and you start to see a lot of new stars coming. And this new generation of no gear excite me a lot to watch them like guys like the kid Mika Galvão from
Yeah.
Manaus. This kid's
Yeah. Yeah.
fantastic. He's like
Amazing.
a super athlete. The Rotolo brothers from Eric Paulson training
Mhm.
with that Galvão. Under Galvão, the kid's fantastic. The way they aggressive, the style. I like to watch this excitement when they watch a fight. And I think today jiu-jitsu have two different styles. Have the gi, which is still sport, and have the no gi, who come more like a professional. And I like that. I like the option. And you see a lot of academies right now don't even want to see gi. Like you see the Planet, Hollywood, 10
10th
Planet,
Planet. Yeah.
they don't do gis. Yeah, I like that. I like that because um, United States, because the background wrestling, you give option for these wrestlers go straight if no gi. They don't want to go to gi. You know what I mean? They go with no gi. And I like that. I think the options, the same time the sport of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is getting so big, the gi is getting bigger too. It's like a kind of give you choices. Some academies do both. They do gi, no gi. Yeah, I like that a lot. I think the Jiu-Jitsu evolution is so fast today, you don't keep yourself learning. Your jiu-jitsu in 2 years is gonna be old. That's why it's like keep learning. You know what I mean?
But it's interesting. I agree with you. You definitely have to keep learning. I also think it's very important when people are learning to learn what they're being shown. So recently we had that camp at Eric Paulson's, and you were there and you taught an amazing seminar. And I think it's important for people to understand, if you haven't been to a Rigan Machado seminar, you have to go, because to me, one thing that you do very differently compared to others is when you're teaching a seminar, it's like telling a story. You're watching a story unfold,
That's true,
and
man.
it's
It's
very easy
that
to
great. It's
follow.
like you agree? I agree with you. I was talking to a student. I was what it was I think it was in Cyprus. Cyprus. I was sit down in lunch and talk to one of the guys who host the seminar in Cyprus when they
Mm,
was doing a movie over there. And I was explaining to him the luck I have as a coach. I was on the beginning. I have opportunity to train with Carlos Grace generation, Hollis Grace and Carson Grace generation. Everybody,
mhm,
the third generation, us to today. And for me, I'm a guy who can go back in time. He explained the evolution, the steps of
mhm,
the old jiu-jitsu, the the first generation, second, the third. You know what I mean? Because I have opportunity to train for them.
mhm.
And this give me a lot of leverage when I go to seminar, explain a little bit where the techniques come from.
Yeah.
And that for me is a privilege. And I felt super lucky because I know the techniques Helio Gracie like to do.
Mhm,
I have a class with him. He teach me. Oh, that's why I like these techniques. The reason I see some techniques when somebody start doing the spider guard at the academy. In the have this guy from Horse Grace named Talarico. Nobody couldn't pass his guard. He was the one who based come with the spider guard. I was like fascinated at the time. I said, man, how do you do it? Because before you control one arm and one collar,
mhm,
after a while, when they start after this evolution, I have this student, this guy used to train for me and my brothers, nicknamed Gordo.
mhm.
He had bad back, bad knees. He created a half guard. And for me, I remember when he did the half guard, and he changed the game because he was a good competitor, but he ended up doing super good because he pulled people straight on the half guard, and people look what the hell he's doing, and he started winning fights, reverse, and doing single legs from there. And for me, it's amazing to see these steps, these evolutions. Like the first time I remember I was in New Zealand,
Mhm,
this guy said, "Oh, Higa, tell me a little bit about berimbolo."
mhm.
I looked to him, what the fuck is berimbolo? He didn't know. I said, the guy, no, these techniques and this stuff. I was fascinated. I said, man, I have to learn this berimbolo. I call my brother, what the hell is this berimbolo? I got asking, and he said, no, come here, show you. And basically, that will excite me. You know what I mean? Because the jiu-jitsu is so unique names. Like another day, the guys, oh, Higan, what do you think about this electrical chair? I said, what the hell is electrical chair? You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because the nicknames, I have to
Yeah, sure.
relearn it, the names, I have to relearn the techniques. You know what I mean? Where it come from? Oh, Ed Bravo. Oh, I remember Ed Bravo. The twisters and all this cool stuff. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
was this unique character. I
Well,
was there when he won Hoyland. I was in his
okay.
corner
Okay. Yeah,
in
that
Brazil.
was interesting when that happened. But I was going to say a funny story about the seminar that you just had at Eric's place. So you were teaching the guard pass from the seated guard, where you sleeve and collar, and then you punch through and go into the triangle from the top. And there were these two guys. There was a purple belt and a white belt. And I guess wherever these guys came from, the purple belt ran the school. And so he was the instructor at the school. But they were doing the technique completely wrong. Like completely. Hegan showed it completely wrong. So you said to me, go over there and show them how to do it properly. And I know this technique well. I've done it 1,000 times. I've had it done to me. So I know exactly the intent. I know the Rigan Machado intent of how this is supposed to feel. So I go over there. I go, Keegan wants me to show you how to do it correctly. These guys refuse to listen. They're like, no, we like doing it like this instead. I go, you're still doing it wrong. I go, if you're here, let's do it the Hegan way. Like, no, this is better. I go, no. So I did it, and I did it Hegan style. I smash, I just pop through this guy. He's like, they start choking. They're like, oh, that's hard. I go, yeah, Hegan's being nice because he's not showing how he actually does. He's showing the technique. I go, but this is Hegan's intent. I go, this is how it's done. You have to do like this. These guys were so stubborn. It blows my mind. You have Higan Machado in the room and he's showing you to do a technique a particular way. Do the fucking technique the way Higan showed you.
No, it's for me. I've been around for a long time. When I do a techniques, I've been doing for a long time. It's basically like I learning how to do because you're doing so many seminars. You want to be sure you teach a breakdown of the techniques in a way the guy have a absorb the techniques or not is up to them. But the way I do is very important, very simple. I try find the first techniques.
Yeah.
I call the C techniques. What's the C techniques? Like example, when you put on the half guard, you grab the half guard, you lock down. Okay, that's the C technique. What's next? What can I do here? You know what I mean? That's basic. When they set up these techniques, I was thinking about like the mount position. People stop studying. People
Mm-hmm.
focus now so much on the legs, so much in these techniques, but mount position. In my generation was the rebuy, the filet mignon,
Mm-hmm.
was the number one techniques in grappling. In basic, I stop. I want to upgrade a little bit these techniques. Start study, watch thousands of videos, and create to find the C techniques. And little by little, I found a way to set up the couple ways to set up a triangle from the mount position. And little by little, I start breakdown. It's like how what's the first step I do? And basically, pretty soon you have 20 setups
Mm-hmm.
around the C techniques. That's basically what I do over there, Eric Paus. I say, Eric Paus, I want to give something different, something fresh, something your students know how to do. Is going to upgrade a little bit when they mount on top, not do just the old attacks. They can be a little bit more aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In base, that's based on every time I go to Eric Paulson, I see what he teach, I analyze everything, and basically I try bring a little bit extra. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? It's not to change people game or anything. Okay, let me give you something a little bit extra, little bit. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I've been doing that for Eric Paulson for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And Eric Paulson is one of my best friends, and I have chance to been teaching him for 30 years. But his success as a competitor, his business, is like my little brother.
So let's get into this. Now we're talking about your relationship with Eric. Recently, Eric made this post with a picture of you and him saying we got demoted. I thought at first I thought it was a joke. I thought this is a troll job.
Yeah,
But I'm
no,
talking to
for
him and then I'm
me,
talking to you. I was like, what is this bullshit? What happened here?
I explained to you.
Yeah.
I remember BJJF, when you sign a BJJF, they have some the administration. It's not Carlos. It's not somebody do the administration over there. And they have basically they come a law. I approve your stripes for you be able to compete. I approve all that. And I don't know what happened. They approve my stripes, like 3 stripes. And the two I don't care. I don't care about
Yeah, yeah, of
at
course.
all. But the example, some students like to compete in BJJF. They
Yeah.
wanna fight under me, like Eric Paus and some of the other guys. I have probably like hundreds of the students love the BJJF because it's one of the biggest jiu-jitsu sports jiu-jitsu in the world. And when they ask you, fill the papers, oh, you're a master, how many stripes he have? And the BJJF say, oh, Higgins, through BJJF, he's 3 stripes, black belt. I remember one time I talked to my cousin Colin Grace, you know what I mean, about that, who is the brother of Carlos Grace Jr. He said, no, maybe this is a mistake or somebody did this and that. And for me, or mistake or politics, I don't care. I think is You know what I mean? I'm Rigan Machado. I know how long I've been training jiu-jitsu. These don't mean much to me. You know what I mean? The moment
Yeah.
my student is allowed to compete in the competition, that's what it's about. Eric Paus didn't like because
Yeah.
he loved me. He said, "Oh, Egan, my coach." When he sees stuff like that, he get upset and
Oh,
stuff.
he was
But I don't
shaking.
know.
He was so angry when I was talking to him about it. He was shaking.
Yeah,
He's like, I can't
I
talk about
don't
this.
know.
They don't
It
even know who Hegan
was
is. I'm like, how do you not know who Hegan
the
Machado is?
example. I remember one time. This one I'm gonna tell this story. I
Mm.
went to one the competition. I think it was the Pan America, this and that, and I think it was Carlos Gris Jr. was speaking on the mic, and he said, "Oh, over here, gonna give a special award to the people who helped this organization to come where it is."
Mm.
And he gave, "Oh, this guy get the award. This guy gave award, but never mentioned my name or any of my brother's name." Yeah, I
Wow.
realize you have some bad blood over here because the only reason Carlos Grace come to United States because I brought him. I helped him. Me and my brothers helped him to launch all his stuff. Barra Grace, I gave to him one day before I come to United States. And I think that's some bad blood because when you split, you didn't split 100% in the right term. We kind of
Mm.
have a little fight over there. And basically, like, we stopped talking to each other because politics. And maybe he have his reason, I have my reasons. We stop talking. I don't talk to Carlos Grace for almost 25 years.
Wow.
Long time.
Long time.
That, that's just crazy. I just think that, because you're such a figurehead in the sport, for
It's
anybody
not,
to try to attempt to taint your reputation or diminish your influence.
I don't think so. I'm going to tell one thing. I
Mm.
have over 24 Hall of Fames all over the world. I have over 6 Life Achievement Award. Black belt, I just got a Black Belt Hall of Fame. I get honoring from some of the biggest organization in martial arts. I'm gonna be a knight from the Vatican pretty
Wow.
soon. It's like all this honoring. I got honor from the Prince Kings from all over the world, from Abu Dhabi, from Abu Dhabi, no, from Qatar, from Dubai. I get all these big awards. You know what I mean? Just even got award a while back from directing a movie.
Wow.
And for me, it's just politics. It's don't bug me at all. I don't care. My goal on the fish to build my own organization, to
Mm.
start my own league, my own things. You know what I mean? And I
Hmm.
have a different vision what I try to do. I want to do something a little bit different. The right time, I put in the business plan together, but I'm gonna do it. It's something like so different. I think I have a space for everybody. What happened to jiu-jitsu? What people don't understand, come like a mechanism, like an energy. Everybody who touch this energy have different ideas. Like example, some people touch this energy. Oh, I want to do this with the knowledge of jiu-jitsu. I want to do no gi. I want to do a new rules of a sport jiu-jitsu. It's everybody who taught this energy. You know what I mean? Have different ideas. The energy is the mind their own. What
Hmm.
happen? But the moment things like that keep growing, that's what it's about. I think the love, what I learned from jiu-jitsu, what I try to use today.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? I think the opportunity I have to come a teacher and to change so many people's lives. I think like I was talking to one of my brothers another day. It's easy to teach techniques, but to use jiu-jitsu to make a better father, a better person, to help them to come more healthy to is jiu-jitsu some you look as a coach to use the jiu-jitsu for something like that, only positive things come to you. And that's why I try to keep focus. I think when I was younger, I have a lot of ego, a lot of things like that. But today, all these uh, disappear. I think the most important thing for me is to keep focused, new challenges. Like I give example, another day I come and direct a film for the first time. That was
Hmm.
a new challenge for me. To come the number one teaching celebrity in the world, that was a new challenge. To conquer Hollywood and to have a chance to bring jiu-jitsu to the big screen, that was a big challenge. I think you have to keep challenge yourself. Like example, doing an energy drink, right?
Yes. Just going to ask you about that.
Machado energy drink. Why are you doing Machado energy drink? Because every can you drink from the Machado energy drink, which is all natural, all organic, I plant
Hmm.
a tree on the Amazon.
How did
Wow,
you come
that's
up with that?
amazing.
How did you come up with
Why?
this idea for the energy
Because I
drink?
think you need to give back to people. You need
Hmm.
to help people. Uh, imagine give all the power you have, you use all this power for you, for your ego, your beneficial. I'm gonna buy a house. This I said, I don't give a shit about that. What I give a shit is to help people, to help the planet, to help, to protect the animal, to help to do things good for the humanity. And that idea came out. I'm very close to launch the drinks right now in the final stage, but that's my goal. I was in Amazon 5 times.
Wow.
And when there was in the Amazons over there, I start little by little structure to have a where the government want to help. The government say, "Hey, we'll give you the warehouse." I said, "Oh shit!"
Wow.
And basically, it's one warehouse for seeds. I buy 3,000 different seeds from the Amazon, from the natural plants, and from there, the second warehouse is to create the plants, to start creating incubators and start raise the plants for the third phase, to find the location get devastated by fire or things, and try to replant and follow up the evolution of the trees in the jungle.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? The goal I have is to do 1 billion trees plant. You
Wow.
know what I mean? To have hundreds of million trees plant every year. Yeah, I think things like that's a good challenge for me. You know what I mean? I
How
think
did you come up with this energy drink? Like, what was the
I was
idea
a friend
behind
of
it?
mine, Paulo Costa. Paulo
Okay.
Costa came to me. We start talking about he want to do something related to secret juice. And the
Mm.
secret juice he talking about, I started introducing him to a lot of people. Yes, Paul, I don't know nothing about the energy drink, but I introduced to real clients I have who is very good in business. He have a lot of big people because Paulo Costa was smart enough to build the brand.
Yeah.
And now he needs people to take the brand name he have and deliver to the big chain of distribution, 7-Eleven, Walmart, and stuff like that. He have a unique drink.
Hmm.
I don't think it's an energy drink. I think more this drink who you can training and give all the minerals you need for get lose weight for a fight. I think he have something very unique. He been used for himself for a long
Mm.
time. I think that's amazing. But one of the guys, a friend of mine, one of my students, he said, Higa, I don't have a lot of money, but you want to start a grass business with me from the beginning. I have some money, you know what I mean? We start slowly. And basically I told him, I don't know you want to do it because I want to do all organic, all natural. And I want to do these in the Amazon. I want to
Mm.
take a big chunk of the profit to give back for the jungle who get devastated so much every day. They destroying the Amazon. People don't have no idea. Say, why not fight back by doing something for protect the planet? Because
Hmm.
so much oxygen Amazon produce for the rest of the world. And that was a big challenge for me, a big motivation. I said, well, okay, let's study. I start going to all different places to develop the tasting, the clean, the things, and learning this unique business who is saturated market. But my idea uh, to have something different, something health. I create 4 different flavors. I create acai flavor, guaraná, some unique Amazon tasting, and I bring some of the fruit juice concentrate from the Amazon to here,
Mhm.
and let's see how far I can push this project. But come very close. I think the next couple months we're gonna have some the first order of the drinks.
Oh, I can't wait.
Fantastic.
The big way to push that thing is you say every can you drink is going to get you one step closer to having Higan Machado level jiu-jitsu. I'll tell you that stuff will be flying off the shelves. You drink a can and you get better at you.
No, I think number one for me have to taste good.
Yeah, of course.
I
Have to.
hate to drink something to taste bad. I can't taste. Sometimes it's so natural. You taste like, oh man, I don't like it. You know what I mean? It basically that's the process I went through. I tried monkey fruit. I tried all kind of the sweets, but I found sugar cane organic, and the sugar cane organic gave me the right taste. Yeah, I like a lot. But I put on the can sweet by sugar cane organic because I don't want people think I put sugar on the product. I say I put
Mhm.
some sugar to taste a little bit, not too much sugar, but it's delicious, man. You drink, it's like almost look like you drink a Sprite or a delicious drink. And for me, I was 2 years study to get to that level
Wow.
and have all the probiotic, all the vitamins. Oh, it's amazing. I like to have stuff like that but to get health, that was the challenge.
I think what's going to be really important about that drink and something that's going to stand out, just like you're saying, Hegan, it's all natural. Because all these things on the market, there's so many chemicals that could really kill you, and they taste like you're drinking out of a pharmacy lab, so to have something all natural that
Stuff.
can really,
Have you,
you know,
when you go to supermarket, any supermarket, you choose house or try find what's natural
you
on the
can't. There's
shelf.
nothing outside of
I,
yerba mate,
even the
nothing.
fruits, the vegetables, try
Horrible.
see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to find health food. I like the L1. Have a chain over here close to my house. They have so many great products. I like Whole Food, Trader Joe have some things you can find who is good. I like California give you a lot of options. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Also,
Very
every
true.
every can you buy, you plant a tree. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that? You know?
Now that's phase one. Phase two is going to be crazy. I have some new drinks. One is called Pink Lady.
Oh, I like
Pink
it.
Uh,
lady.
yeah, because the drink is very mixed with strawberries, some natural berries and stuff. But this drink are going to take some of the money to protect the pink dolphin in the Amazon.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
amazing, man.
Yeah,
Amazing,
in the
brother.
black belt, I call the black belt drink, who look like black and very tasteful.
Wow.
This one I'm gonna use Thunder Prof to protect the Black Panther in the Amazon. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
Basically, like I try connect to the right organization to be sure the money go for the
Hmm.
right reason. It to have a facility on the Amazon. You have a team over there who be sure that is the money is not people put on the pocket, but to know is going for the right reason. That's gonna be phase two. Phase two have three drinks and protect some unique animals who are getting killed all the time. You know what I mean?
That's
Beautiful.
Yeah.
amazing. That's so
You
important.
guys want in the future have a chance I bring you guys to the Amazon for you understand what I'm talking about. Because when you guys see how beautiful the place is I think the Amazon for me is one of the most beautiful trip I ever did in my life.
Mm.
Because the nature of it, like I give you an example, the Amazon River, they break down in two parts, the Black River and the Mud River, the Amazon River.
Hmm.
The Black River is no mosquitoes because the water is kind of acidic. What happens, you can stay over there, no shirt, get the sun. But what's beautiful about this river, when you go to one side of the, look like an ocean, you don't see the other side. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Imagine how big is the river. You look like this, it look like an ocean.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, have piranhas, have all kinds of different, have some crocodiles, and
Eh,
some. You
It's
say,
never
hey
boring.
man,
Never boring.
I
Man.
was it was so crazy because I was swimming on the Black River. I said it's okay to swim over there. They, yeah, go ahead. And 2 days later, I was reading a newspaper, and some tourists tried jumping. They examined the same place, and they got attacked by piranhas. Yes, I said,
Oh,
motherfucker, you told me I can swim over here. Oh no, the piranhas don't like to come here this time of the day. I said, motherfucker, I was got eaten by piranhas, you know.
you sent me over there, man. Not, what's going on? The
But it's
that's
fuck was I
good.
beautiful.
doing over there,
Yeah.
man?
Uh,
Yes.
what
So
questions you guys have for Hegan? This is the time. Ask now. We got the Grandmaster himself on.
thank you, sir.
Egan,
Thank you for letting me come here to
I
the
got a very
podcast.
good question because I know that you have basically one of the most interesting things you have is the jujitsu for Hollywood actors because they're afraid of getting hurt, etc. So you made a type of curriculum for that. Now,
Yeah, brother. It was very controversial because people think, oh, it's too Hollywood. I tell you why I have to do that. I was teaching a celebrity. I have three levels celebrity. I have A, B, and C. When you teach celebrities A, the lawyers come to you, hey, sign this disclosure.
Hmm.
You can't talk about, you can do this, you can get in big trouble.
NDA, yeah.
And I have probably like 40 celebrities like that, A celebrities. I have over 500 celebrities come to the academy. And that put me in a position to be the number one guy in Hollywood with network.
Mm.
What mean? The power in Hollywood is the access you have to these people. Imagine I open my black book. Hey, I'm gonna talk. I have the number of all these top actors. I can go straight to the actor. As a,
Mhm.
do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Sure.
of
Yeah.
course.
This is so popular. People every day send me script. Oh, you can give this for this guy to this guy. I said I can't because I signed a disclosure. I can't do that. And I remember the first celebrity I have in Beverly Hills. I got the I think was Warner Brothers came to me the insurance guys to talk to me because they worry he gets scratch on the face because he's doing this super big TV show. And he said you can teach you can get a scratch on the face. Another way it's going to be a big problem for us to let him train because it's on the contract of the studio. And basically, I said, I have to protect this guy. I come out with ideas how to train them. The training I create for them is very simple. First, you're going to learn the techniques. I'm going to teach you the details. The second, I'm going to put you to do a repetition of the techniques. I bring a guy your size. In case I'm too big for you, I'm gonna put him to drill you because I'm heavyweight and you're lightweight. I don't want you to take a chance to spar to do drills. I'm too big and fall on top of you. Okay, that person is perfect for you to drill. And after this, when they learn three or four or five techniques, I call the blender. The blender is a series of mix these techniques. In basically what I do, I put them to repeat the techniques, mix it up, and do a superset. And like these, they help to mix the techniques. And after this, when they get to a level, I do a technical training. What mean a technical? You're just gonna pass the guard. You're not gonna do nothing else. Your goal is to pass the guard, you get side control. That's a breakdown in jiu-jitsu in 20 parts for them to training to a point he have a green light. When he have a green light, I say you're ready to spar and do whatever you want with anyone because you know how to protect yourself. You know how to do the right way. Guys like Ashton Kutcher, he have a green light. He spar like crazy now. You know what I mean? Some of these guys, they good enough to know how to protect themselves. In base, I have to do that because I have so many deals with insurance issues, and because they pay me so much money when they have to do a film, they pay me 1,500, 2,000, sometimes 2,500 an hour
Wow.
for teach the actor. And base I did a Black Panther, and they pay me like 3,000 an hour to
Jesus.
train the actor.
God
You
bless
know
him.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, and base all these little things, I start make so much money. I start thinking like that's a different world I'm not used to. And basically I have to create a methodology for these guys because 90% of my clients is celebrities. I have to create this kind of methods for them because I need to be sure they don't get hurt. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's a different style. When they train somebody for competition, it's the process 80%, 90% have to spar because you have to improve the game and 10, 15% have to tie your game. Because for me, it's very important to understand the person's DNA. What DNA? Any champion is good in 2, 3 techniques. And I need to see what's your DNA. When they find your DNA, the whole training about what you do well. And when you spar, I watch your spar and develop the strength, find your weakness, and create your process to get ready for get your mindset and get ready for competition. But because my academy come academy for 5% of the celebrities, I don't have the team to push people for competition, which are gonna. My next challenge is to open a mega school. I'm gonna open pretty soon. I wanna buy the build one of the top facilities for competition. Yeah, I'm gonna bring like 40 the topish black belts I have to now. I wanna build the number one team in competition in the world. I believe I can do that. But for me right now, because now I come a director, I start producing. I'm gonna direct another 3 movies. My movie's coming out Amazon Prime on the 18th this month. It's come.
Wow.
And I hope you guys can check it out. It's
Yeah.
called Blow for Blow.
Blow
Blow
for
for
blow.
Yeah.
blow.
It sounds like a
I
movie
did.
I'm going to watch.
It's a movie. You're gonna love the movie because about bullies, about kids in high
Yeah.
school get bullied. And you know who's on the movie? Paulo Costa.
No
Oh,
way.
bah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Paulo Costa on the film. He did a phenomenal job. He was supposed he got not another actor said Paulo Costa. You're gonna play Paulo Costa. Just be yourself. I'm gonna put a camera on your face. Go ahead, talking about secret Jews. He talking about secret Jews, and I put him to beat up some guys. It was so funny. He did
That's
a
funny.
phenomenal job.
That's funny.
How did you develop that interest in getting into
Movies.
movies, making movies?
Actually, was Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris actually, I never liked the movie business because the movie business for me is very weird, very different, very
Yeah.
outside my comfort zone. And Chuck Norris was doing a TV show called Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
And
I remember that.
Carlos was in Texas already doing some stuff for him. He called me and said, Higan, I wanted to play Higan, put you to do a little things over here, some fight scenes. So, oh, nice. And later, start people call him. Steve Seagal called us. We did some show with him, Warner Brothers called Undersea 2. I put my brother to do a fight scene with him. And little by little, we start get phone calls. I come friend of Paul Walker through Franginha, his teacher. Call me, introduced to Paul Walker. And Paul Walker, I ended up doing Fast and Furious 5 with Paul Walker. Later did Fast and Furious 7, which he passed away during the film. And I come friends of Van Diesel. And pretty soon I get a phone call from this guy named Chad, who he owned a company called 8711. He was talking to me doing a movie called John Wick. I want to maybe you come and help me to train Keanu Reeves for that and do some jiu-jitsu ideas. I was over there, spent some time with a little bit advisor for Keanu for a little bit. And after this, I get a phone call from Marvel Studios to do Black Panther. That's when they train Chadwick Boseman, the actor, to some grappling, some little things like that. And
That's
little
my
by little,
guy. Yeah.
I start like come out the idea. I will start study about films and production, and I produce a film with a friend Mike on America Sicario. We sold for Hulu. I start thinking now. I think yeah, I want to challenge myself to direct, and basically I wrote a small film called Blow for Blow, and I direct in 2 weeks, and we sold. The movie come out really good. I have a premiere at Chinese theater, 700 people show up. Was fantastic. And now I have 3 more movies I direct. But every movie I do have to have a good message.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It have to be something positive on the film to show people. And basically, I want to be this kind of director. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. I have a lot of surprises coming too in TV shows and projects who I've been worked with. I think it's a new challenge. Let's see how far I can push. But everything relate to what I do, jiu-jitsu, relate to
Well,
health and
yeah,
stuff like
I
that.
think it'll be a massive success because look, you're by nature a driven champion. Nobody in the family
It's
had the
amazing.
record that you had, and it's
It's
just like
amazing.
this is you. This is Higan
I
Machado.
agree. I agree with you. I think the key in life for me is to use the jiu-jitsu almost like a temple.
Hmm.
Whatever I learned from jiu-jitsu, I use the techniques who help me to become good in jiu-jitsu, to use the same techniques to help me to be good as a friend, good person, to have morals, to have value, to exercise that every day. It's almost like a muscle. I'm
Hmm.
exercise every day to be a good person. That's why like problems like I have with the EBJJF or Carlos
Hmm.
Grace Jr. is on the past. I'm
Hmm.
not let. I think myself like on the train. I'm on the train to move forward.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm jump on the train. Whatever try stop me to the train move, I said no, no, stay behind
Hmm.
because these trains keep moving. This train have to go forward. And I think like when I was younger, I hold inside. I was upset
Hmm.
because I was so in love with my cousin, my mentor, my coach, my brother.
Hmm.
When we break up, that hurt
It's
my feeling a lot
it's tough.
because
It's
boy,
tough.
that's the guy you trust the most in your life.
Yeah.
And when you have a betray or something like that, it hurts your feeling. But today I don't care because when you keep yourself growing as a human, as a man, as a warrior, all these things mean shit. You know what I mean? The most
Yeah.
important thing in life is your friends, your family. You know what I mean? Keep fight for your values. You keep your fight to be a good person, to be humble, to be simple. You not let things affect you. You know what I mean?
So
And
I have a question for you. So,
yes, sir.
so you've had what sounds like from the very beginning a natural curiosity for grappling, and as you mentioned, you you explored different styles because you just like competition. Did you ever explore catch wrestling or lucha libre?
Yes, I have opportunity to train in some cast wrestling. Cast wrestling for me is the same idea I have. Like I explain what cast wrestling for me.
Are you
Cast
ready, Adam?
wrestling.
You ready, Adam?
I'm
Okay,
ready.
go
I'm
ahead.
ready.
When they train for fight sambo, when they come, I have 30 seconds on the ground, and the 30 seconds on the ground is all I have. And I figured out styles of ways. Which one day you guys have chance to train for me? I'm gonna show you what how I create some ideas. You guys gonna go crazy to come quick submission in sambo. In base, like I have only 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 15 seconds. As soon as I get to the ground, I have to find a way to do a submission. And basic, uh, that's how I see catch wrestling. Catch wrestling is not waste the time. You grapple the
No.
guy and you have 30 seconds to submit the guy.
Yeah, we get his ass out of there.
The problem I see on that is almost like a sprinter. Catch wrestling is a sprint. Jiu-jitsu is a marathon. Do
Hmm.
you understand the
Yeah.
difference? What happened? You have the catch wrestling. You don't get the guy. the marathon is going to take over. What happened? What I love about castle wrestling is very good puzzle for fighting. For MMA, you pop, 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 get the guy, quick submission. That is, I love wrestling for that position. The problem, you try to be a catch wrestler, you go to a competition like jiu-jitsu, you're going to be in trouble because you have a very short time to do your submission. You don't work out how you're going to handle the marathon. You have to be used to be a marathon fighter
You have to adjust your speed.
to able to handle
Yeah.
it. That's why use the beneficial from different styles to get yourself a complete grappler. You know what I mean? Something you can adapt for what you want to fight. You know what I mean? You fight rules like castle wrestling and style like that. You have to think about the methodology for training like castle wrestling. You want to fight jiu-jitsu guys, you fight like a
Yeah.
marathon. You have to train like a marathon. You have to put on the time, okay, I'm going to train for at least 20 minutes. And now you used to hold your pace, take your time. You know what I mean?
Yep. Train for your objective. Absolutely.
I hope I answered the question the
No,
best
you
way.
did. I was curious because, as I listened to the description of, your style, the concept of pressure and connection.
You know a guy who introduced me to catch wrestling? Gene LaBelle.
I was just going to
You
ask you
remember
about
Gene
your
LaBelle?
relationship with Gene.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gene LaBelle was my
We
brother.
share we share a lineage, Gene LaBelle and I.
Gene LaBelle was a sweetheart. The first time I met Gene LaBelle
The
was Chuck
Daikon.
Norris. Chuck Norris brought him my academy.
Hmm.
He come to my academy. We exchange techniques. I show my methodology. He show his methodology, and we become friends because I don't have egos.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know, but Gene LaBelle was so funny. He go on the back. When he come back, he come back with a pinky gi.
Daikon.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I never seen a pinky gi before. I said,
Yeah.
what's up with the pinky?" I look
Yeah.
like this. And he is the most unique because I was very impressed because I keep look to his feet. And me and my brothers keep look to his feet because the feet is like a piece of wood. You know what I mean? It's like
Hmm.
a brick. And his hand is like a brick. I keep a look. I said, I never met a person with this kind of thick foot. You know what I mean? And his hair, like
Hair
rabbit
ever.
hair, his
Yeah.
hair all over the place. This big guy, like, how you doing? Here, go. Show me some jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
funny.
Gene was
He
like a
started
Neander. He was
showing
like a
like
Neanderthal. Yeah.
show him some headlocks, some dirty headlocks he would like to do in
Yeah.
the guy's face. And he brought this guy. I felt so bad. He kept torturing the guy in front of us. I said, Gina Bell, go easy with the guy. But he's like, no, I like to do this. Great, this
Yeah.
Gina Bell grip. You
Yeah.
squeeze the guy nose.
Oh, the three
I
finger.
said,
Yeah.
shit, this
Yeah. Yeah.
guy's.
He's nuts.
I love the
Nuts.
guy, man. I always broke my heart when he passed away
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
was very close to him. I know Gina Bell for over 28 years. We
Yeah.
used to see each other all the time.
Yeah. He was. Gene was referred to as the daikon. At least, like in Japanese, I think that means like pink or something because it was in reference to his gi. And so, what was passed down to me and my family was that we also would call North American Catch daikon, just to throw homage back to Gene LaBelle as well.
It's amazing.
And actually, the name of my company that owns our gym is called Daikon because it's
Oh,
all
wow.
built into the history and the heritage of North American catch wrestling.
Very cool.
That's really cool. Yeah. Gene,
Yeah.
Gene was a special character.
Yeah,
He
He's
liked the
amazing.
violence.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Who? Now,
I think
how,
Eric Paus teaches some catch wrestling, I think.
yeah. He
Right?
does like he does the Shudo style.
The
So
Japanese version.
Shudo is a style of catch wrestling that was developed out of Karl Gotch by Tiger Mask. and it's a lot of it is these lock flows. They're submission lock flows. So it's a style of Japanese catch wrestling. It's not the only one,
From
but it's
all the
unique.
all the black belts uh, I have over 900 black belts under me. But one of my black belts I have the most respect. I think he was one of the top instructor I seen is Eric Paulson.
Mm.
I think Eric Paulson experience and the way he teach is fantastic. The way he break down the techniques, the way he coach. I think he's one of the most knowledgeable instructors I've seen from these 900 black belts I have.
Yeah, he's like
He's
an
amazing.
encyclopedia.
It's amazing.
I stick
He's
by. I say I don't think there's anybody on the planet that has as many variations of moves and those histories of moves that Eric Paulson
Eric Paulson. The other
does.
good instructor, one of the guys that is phenomenal instructor is the guy from Australia, John Will. He's a phenomenal guy. He's a good instructor, good, good coaching, good. What he built in Australia is phenomenal. The number of black belts. I go over there. You know what he do? He do an event. Only guys under him. He come like 1,000 guys.
The Machado,
After
I
this, he do a Will Machado or something. And after this, he set up a seminar for me with all the guys. One seminar just for 200 black belts. After this, for all the guys. After this, for the beginners. And he do that. I've been in Australia 26 times because John Will. Every year.
Amazing.
I go to Australia and after this, New Zealand. But I don't like to travel too much. Only go to Mel. I said, John, when they come here, bring everybody to me. I don't want to travel all over the place like I used to, because I already know Australia so much. I've been everywhere. Bring everybody to Melbourne, and I come. And he been doing that for 20 years. I've been going to Australia. And after this, I told I come all the way here. I need a vacation. And this time we go to Bali. I spend at least 8 days in Bali, relax. And the whole group of friends go to Bali. It's super cool. We travel to India together, a group of friends. It's crazy. It's amazing. Yeah.
Are there any MMA guys that you see today that you actually like from a
Oh
grappling
yeah.
perspective? What
I
they're doing?
like the fighters. I like Khabib.
Mm.
I like John Jones a lot. John Jones is the most unique fighter because he's very orthodox. Like what mean orthodox? Very different style. He mix well his style. It's very difficult to fight a guy like him. You know what I mean? You fight him, his arms so long. He have this distance. When you break the distance, he's wrestling. He
Yeah.
fight kind of dirty. Oh, it's
Oh
fantastic.
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
It's, I like
it's
him a lot.
He's got a back
his
alley style.
reach. Yeah,
Yeah.
to the Greco. You know, it's his
He's
again. It's his
fantastic.
Greco style and how
Never
he
lost. No.
controls. No,
Khabib, I like his style a lot because
Yeah.
very strong wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy to stop his wrestling is very difficult. He end up take the guy down or submit the guy or ground and pound. He's tough guy. But MMA today is very hard to stay too long on the top because so much money, so many fighters, so many. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's not many guys stay
It's
a
flooded.
champ for too long anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I
Might be
mean?
2 fights and then you out.
You're thinking about it's too much money now.
There was no money back in the day. Now with all the money,
Yeah, you see UFC signed for $7.7 billion with
Yeah.
Paramount Plus.
it's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
lot
I
of
don't
money.
even know how much UFC is worth today. You know what I mean?
it's got to
It's
be
crazy.
worth. It's got to be worth 12 times that probably.
Yeah,
It's got
easy,
to be
right?
worth it.
You're the accountant, Val, so
Great.
you would know.
I mean, you discount it back to future revenue and just
How
cash
much,
flow.
man? What's the worth of UFC right now? Have to be at least $20 billion, right?
It's gotta be.
Or more,
Well,
maybe.
how does that
True.
calculate, Val? Because Val is a super accountant, so
I
he
still am.
he, he kind of knows this. Yes, so Val knows money and finance better than all of us combined.
Can I think Dana White is he want to be a president? Gonna vote for him. Dana
he,
White,
he
you want to
probably
be a
he probably could
president?
get it. He probably could win. He probably could win.
He kind of remind me. What I love about Dana White, Joe Hogan, they talk the truth. They don't lie. They don't bullshit. Dana White upset if the fighter, he gonna call the fighter a idiot, and he don't hold the horse. He don't give a shit. And I like the truth. I like the reality. I like, in the same time, the sport is. I went to see Dana White over there in the facility in
That
Vegas.
performance, you know.
Is the center? I was overwhelmed. I said, "This is not a business. That's a city." You're
Yeah,
building here something like I never seen before. It's like fantastic. Yeah, I think the sport is not in the pinnacle yet. I think it's still a chance to go bigger and
I think
bigger
so.
and
I think
bigger.
so.
Yeah.
Um, I have one question for you guys. What do you think about boxing? These new guys like who are doing all these setup fights and stuff like that. Is good for the sport or bad for the sport?
Terrible.
It's bad. It's bad. It's bad because so I'll give it to you like this. So quality control and revenue go hand in hand, right? And UFC has quality control because you have a bunch of leagues that feed into the UFC talent pool, and then the UFC host events, and they're in control from start to finish, right? All the way through, even to marketing the athletes and putting their names out there. They're in control. So no one can come in and breach the borders of the organization and make any money off of the fighters, the promotion, or tarnish the name, right? Now, boxing, on the other hand, it's a matter of multiple promotions, right, that are funded by various backers, and no one truly controls it. And because no one truly controls it, you don't have the quality control to prevent people from coming in and randomly putting on an event. So if you can get it sanctioned, you can put it on. If you can get supporters for the networks, you can put it on. And so what's happened now is with the gimmick boxing, you have guys who didn't go through the normal route who can get a slot on TV because networks want traction, they want viewership, and these guys can legitimize themselves and enter the ranks of boxing. And so what it does is it's making a mockery of the tradition. It's making a mockery of it. Um, so it may be good for the networks, but it's not good for the boxers. Like for example, I used to box, right? And so I fought 142 times. And when you fought like that, you look at from the time you're 5 years old to the time you try to vie for the Olympics, because I was vying for the Olympics in 2008, 2006 for the 2018 before I got E. coli poisoning and damaged my eyes and couldn't compete. Um, you think about how much time you put in perfecting your craft. It's just like how grappling, it takes time to become really, really good and really refined. And so then imagine if someone shows up to your sport and they didn't put in their time because they had someone who had money who would be willing to support any wacky idea. And it's just entertainment now, but it's not honor anymore. So the valor is starting to decline in boxing, whereas the world now is looking at MMA. So MMA is actually eclipsing boxing in every single way. Like most Americans cannot name more than 5 boxers currently. But the average American can name at least 15 to 20 MMA guys. Easy.
I have a question, another question for you in particular.
Hmm.
You got in some controversy with the Grace kids. What happened? What happened with you guys bump heads? And I saw something another day. The guy burned the black belt and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And what happened?
I'll let
I'm
Brian talk about
always
that one.
curious about that controversy because I met Hiro and Hannah, the most sweet guys I ever met in person. I grew up, I know them very well. I'm very close to the father.
Yeah.
And to see what's going on, I'm curious, like what happened to one of the black belts to get so upset to create this controversy.
Okay.
I think you got in that controversy too. What happened?
Yeah. So
Well,
yeah, we got
be clear, we were not in the controversy. The guy was a guest.
Oh, he's a
yeah, and
guest.
then he was a guest on the show, and then we got roped into the whole thing, and then
So he
they
was a
tried to
guest
shut
on
down
the
the
show.
podcast.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he was a guest on the
because
show,
it went all over the world. It
and
blew up.
I met.
because
You know what's funny? I met him. I was going to a restaurant. It's called Mauro's Cafe. I remember somebody introduced me to him, and when I met him, he very sweet guy. He was teaching Beverly Hills, and I was curious. I mean, this guy was so in love with this. What happened? Why he created this
yeah.
point? He burned the black. But what happened?
So
I was
he,
curious.
Well,
yeah,
can
here's
I catch the first piece and then
Yeah.
bring you in on this
yeah.
piece that
Go
you're
ahead.
about? So Evandro, his name, Evandro Nunes. He came on the podcast um, because the world reacted to him burning his black belt, and so obviously the big question was, well, why would you burn your black belt? So he comes on the show, and when he comes on the show, um, he's kind of giving details, but then not giving details. So while he's on, we're really trying to peel back the layers to get to the core of what actually happened. So in the episode, we were kind of left in a holding pattern because we couldn't quite get all the way down to the core. But then after he went on to the podcast, people got curious about it, and then he started sharing clips from the podcast, and he started sharing information and just commentary. And then from there, it snowballed. And then somehow people associated Brian and myself with something that happened with him.
Yeah.
And then now Brian will pick up from there.
All right. So I think we need
So
to
we interviewed him.
backtrack. Yeah. Here's the thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. This is not a local podcast. This is literally the biggest grappling podcast in the world. We stream in over 34 countries. I think we're almost up to 40 countries. So it's all over the place. And one of our biggest listening audiences of all things is Brazil. That's one of our biggest places. Brazil, Australia, UK, outside of the United States, those are probably the 3 biggest countries that follow us rapidly. And Evandro actually originally got his black belt from Ryan Gracie. So he was a Ryan Gracie black belt. When he came to the United States, he had gotten a job with Henner and Huron.
At Gracie
But
University.
they said to him, well, you're not, he got sucked into like their cult of you're not a real black belt until you go through Gracie University. So they made him get a second black belt in Gracie University Jiu-Jitsu. Even though he was already a black belt, he was a successful competitor. All of his competition, everything he did, all of his success was under the Ryan Gracie team. Okay. So when he came to the U.S., And they said, no, your black belt doesn't count, right? It was like an IBJJF thing. You have to do a Gracie University black belt. They had him do all that. Now, while that was happening, it turns out, and this was verified, so this part is not anything that I'm speculating on. This was factually agreed upon by all parties involved. Evandro was in a consensual relationship with Huron's wife.
Get the fuck out of here. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
This was acknowledged by Huron and by Evandro. So what happened was Huron and his wife, I guess, are swingers. And they
Oh my God. That's sad.
Look at Adam.
Hey, wait, listen. Hey, now that's a different kind of jujitsu.
Yes, that's a different. So basically, Huron and his wife invited Evandro into their relationship. So they had already had a relationship, and Huron apparently likes to send his wife out to different people, different men. And they invited Evandro to be a part of their relationship. As this happened, Evandro ended up moving into their house. So they all had a relationship together. Okay. And then they started making these jiu-jitsu Gracie breakdown videos and making Evandro like the butt of the joke in the videos. And Evandro became offended. He says, like, why am I doing this? Number one, I'm the actual successful competitor here. Number two, you're making me look like a bitch in these videos. So he found it to be very insulting. And they kept telling him, Henner kept telling him, no, you have to do this for the team, blah, blah, blah. You have to do this for us. It's going to make you better. You have to be a part of this video and do these stupid videos. So he didn't like that. At some point, Evandro met his soon-to-be wife, and now they're married, and he said, okay, I have to get out of this relationship with Huron and the wife. But Huron and the wife said, well, why don't you just bring her into the mix too? And then we can all have a relationship together. And Evandro's girlfriend, now wife, said, no, I don't want any part of this.
This is why you need catch
Get
wrestling.
Yeah.
So
You get your business over.
what's actually being what's actually being said is that the new girlfriend was fucking normal.
Yeah, she didn't want any part of it. So Evandro ended up splitting from that relationship, and they basically threatened him. And they said, well, if you're not going to be a part of this, you can't be a black belt anymore. You can't teach for us anymore. They were putting all these threats to him. So he says, okay, if you're going to do this, I'm going to expose you. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to move. He ended up moving with his wife to Michigan. And he says, I'm just burning this black belt.
Yep.
And so he felt betrayed by jiu-jitsu because these people that he trusted really took advantage of him and created this whole scenario, this cult-like scenario where he felt trapped. And so the only way he felt that he could untrap himself was to completely reject Gracie University and the Gracie brothers and burn the black belt. Now, subsequently, after this happened and we released that episode, like I said, this went all over the world, as every week it does. We at the show had numerous people reach out to us telling us stories. Now, that is only hearsay because it is not verified and there was no police reports involved. But I can say this, multiple people have come
forward
to us anonymously saying, this happened to me, this happened to me. A female who was working at the front desk was talking about the scams they were running and the embezzlement. There was a lot of financial embezzlement, she claims, involved. And there was a lot of pushing her into these sexual relationships as well with the brothers. And it became commonplace that they were inviting people, hey, if you want a belt, if you want to rank up, you have to be involved with us sexually. And so this is what was happening. And many people, especially after the show was released, literally left. There was a exodus. A lot of people left. Black belts, a lot of people left Gracie University after we published the episode because they said, now I can talk. And a lot of these people are literally to this day afraid to come on the show to tell their story because the Gracies have legally threatened them, saying, if you expose us, if you do this, do that, you're going to sue us or we're going to sue you. And then they went to Instagram and they didn't threaten me directly, but they tried to shut us down, saying that we were domestic terrorists and we were trying to slander them, which was not true at all. I had to go through this whole process with my physical ID, show my face and all this stuff to prove to them that I was a real person, that we were all real guys, that we're just a show and we are just explaining the side of the story.
And then there was some degree of shadow banning.
Yes,
because
we got shadow banned for a while.
Yeah, because when you go from what it means is
they took away. They started like with my PCI page, the PCI Jiu-Jitsu page. They started taking away my followers.
Yep.
They said they were blocking anything we were posting.
Content.
So this was before I was on the show, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like
you needed me on the show, brother. You needed me on the show.
That's right, man. And so, like, for
us.
example,
None of this shit would happen.
So if we were tagging each other, right? So Evandro would tag us in various posts, right? Occasionally. And then if, for example, the Level Up Grappling page tagged me, then it would shadow ban me.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, when you're adding 10,000 followers a month, now I wake up, I'm losing 5,000 people.
Yeah.
I'm losing 3,000 people. And, even if you make an ad or something, it just doesn't go anywhere. It's not getting any views or anything like that. So it was a tough period.
Yeah. They basically tried everything they could to shut us down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, we have a very, very large listening audience and fan base. So it's been a process to build back up, which we're doing step by step. And they do not like us in any way, shape or form, which is fine. I don't care. But yeah, it got out there that they were, also requesting sexual favors for promotion.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But hey, this is how you know, Brian. This is how you know we're all brothers. We were basically thrown in the shit bin together.
Yep.
And we still rocked out. I was like, one day I woke up, I'm like, how did I lose 5,000 followers after getting 20 million views?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, we got shadow banned.
They aggressively went after us.
Yeah,
very aggressively. They tried getting the podcast shut down multiple ways.
Yep.
Literally to the degree of calling us terrorists. Yeah, but that didn't work. That didn't work out for them. That's good. Hey, it's all good.
That's
hey,
crazy.
It's just like it's only grown from there. So it didn't work. It actually backfired on them.
I'm too cool and too well tanned to even be a terrorist. Right? Right? I don't fit the bill.
And let's keep in touch. I want to keep the communication for you guys.
Of course.
And anytime you guys in LA, count me. Let's get a bite to eat. Sounds good?
Yeah. We want to, Egan, we got to launch. We really want to launch the drink with you. So anything we can do to support you as soon as it comes out.
I want you to promote my movie. It's come out Blow for Blow.
Blow for Blow.
Amazon Prime on the 18th
of September.
I send you guys the trailer of the film in case you need.
Yes, please send it to us.
It's going to be a good plus for you because more market, more people see the film.
Absolutely.
Better for my next movie.
We'll promote it.
I send you the trailer of the film.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So let's wrap it up with this
connection.
Because without you, it's just like I said, there is no jiu-jitsu outside of Brazil, in my opinion.
Thank you, sir.
For somebody starting, somebody young, let's say they're blue belt, white belt, blue belt, what is the best Higan advice you can give in terms of keeping them on track to develop? Because I think people are getting
It's pretty
overloaded.
simple. I think the key jiu-jitsu, the environment, the coaching, the academy. It's almost like the academy of jiu-jitsu extension of a family. And I think a kid who don't have many friends go to an environment the academy absorbing them and help them to grow with friends and help them to come more confidence. I think the moment you find a extension academy who help you to do that, and not just jiu-jitsu academy, any martial arts in general, is very important. I think martial arts come to help people identity, people to come more
Mm,
confidence. I think many people use for different reasons, but I think the competition is simple. Hours in competition, hours on the mat, what's gonna get you there?
gotcha.
More you
Yeah, because
compete, better. The more you train on the mat, better. The two together is gonna make you a champion.
I think what ends up happening is people these days they're learning too many moves, right? You have these BJJ fanatics, all this stuff online. They're
Brother,
getting
can I tell
overwhelmed.
you something? I wish growing up I have a YouTube. Because I'll be fanatic. I'll be like watch every techniques. I think YouTube came to change the game. People now have a
Yeah,
chance to learning
They have an
yeah,
from
advantage.
everywhere. But I think it's good. It's just gonna help the sport to grow.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome. Well, Higan, this has been an absolute pleasure and an
Thank you,
honor.
guys.
You are the man. Without you, we would not be. And I can't
Thank you.
emphasize that enough. None of us would exist without you and you alone.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you so much for all of your contributions to the game.
Thank you.
And September 18th, ladies and gentlemen, you get on Amazon Prime, you
Blow
watch
by
Higan
blow.
Machado's movie, Blow for Blow,
Go
September
for blow.
18th, worldwide. If you don't watch it, Higan's coming to your house and he's going to do the secret mount and he's going to choke you unconscious. So many of you may have this fantasy of being choked by Higan or destroyed by Higan, but I don't think you want that torture. So please just get online and watch the movie. It's going to be wonderful.
What a way to
And with
close out.
that, we are out of here.
Bam.